Well, good morning, everyone. Pastor Corey Rowland here with Yorksville First, Midvale, and Newport United Methodist Church, bringing you a devotional today out of the book of Lamentations, and it's Lamentations 1, verse 1. And it says, "How does the city sit in solitary that was once full of people? How has she become as a widow? She that was great among the nations and a princess among the provinces. How has she become tributary?" And this is Jeremiah's beginning of his lament for Jerusalem, and lament means sorrow and sadness, and he's talking about her terrible condition. He's saying Jerusalem was once full of people and is now empty. She was once a princess. She was once great among the nations. Now she is a mere tributary to be traded between one nation to another. Jerusalem was a very powerful and great nation, and what happened is in their greatness they forgot God. In their greatness they became complacent with God. They became indifferent to Him. They gave themselves over to idol worship, and they were quickly destroyed. And I think this provides a sober warning for us here in America. America is truly one of the greatest nations on earth, and it has freedoms more than any other nation, and it is truly a beacon for the other nations. However, if we forget God, if we reject God, if we turn from God, if we don't acknowledge God, which is what we're seeing today, then we really cannot expect to continue to prosper. God is the source of all prosperity. God is the source of all goodness. And if a nation turns their back on God, I promise you, they will not continue to prosper. I promise they might prosper for a little bit, but in the end, they will fall just like Jerusalem. Jerusalem was only restored when they acknowledged God, when they came back to believing in the one who created them. And for America, we are heading in a very, very dark place. We're heading in a place that we've not been before. A place where we are rejecting God. A place where the biggest religion we have is not Christianity, but ourselves. A place where we are holding ourselves up and holding up humanism as opposed to the living God. And like Jerusalem, we are headed for trouble if we do not change. And so my message for you today is that we ought to acknowledge God. We ought to have God affect every area of our lives. And we as the church, we as Christians, we are the ones who are responsible for bringing God back. We are the ones who are responsible for defending God. We are the ones who are responsible to witness to our nation for God. You know, America was often thought of as the place, that sends missionaries all over the world. But for all over the world, America is their number one mission field. Most third world nations send more missionaries to America than any other nation on earth. They're all, for Africa, for example, they send more missionaries to America than they send anywhere else on earth, because America is that great mission field, because we are in desperate need of God. And so my prayer is that we would turn back to God, and my prayer for you is that you as a Christian, that you would stand up for God, and that you would help bring God back into this country, because it is in desperate need of Him. Amen.